I obviously agree with the proposals for topical priorities, but I think for these proposals to do what we expect out of them, we need to take into consideration the fact that while we, as member states, have a lot in common, but we do have specificities. We need to take that into consideration, the specific issues that pertain to a country than the other, due to cultural, geographic, any specific issues. I think for these proposals to do their expected jobs, we need to take that into consideration. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Marco. This is noted, and I think the various technical commissions and the various regional structures and the various activities, we will be able to break these down, which of course you're right, it's a very high level discussion now, but we will be able to break this down into various contexts and to various, let's say, branch and scheme development needs. So, but your suggestions in this regard will of course be very, very helpful. Is there anybody else who would like to have a comment on this question? Otherwise, we will move to question number 2. I don't see any Marjorie, Marianne, do you see anybody else?
No. Mr. Marcock sent a message, but this is regarding question 3. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. President. First of all, I would like to express my great appreciation of the efforts undertaken by Issa in order to offer members relevant opportunities for sharing and exchanging and learning, and to do render their services innovatively. I do appreciate that, and I thank you for that. However, we need to take into consideration, understandably, all sorts of barriers that might encounter us achieving these objectives. And among these barriers, there are 2 particular obstacles that I would like to reiterate, emphasizing them into account. The first one is the language barrier, of course. I do have the conviction that the noble and ethical, humanitarian essence of Issa's mission and objectives ought to be within the grasp of the general public, of the ordinary people, rather than restricted to a few officials representing their countries or institutions, like myself, for instance. And I think being able to reach out to the general public is going to have a great positive contribution to the more understanding, more appreciation on the part of the general public to the mission and objectives of both Issa and the social security institutions everywhere. The other obstacle has to do with the distinctive specificity of each country, and for that matter, each region. I think taking that into account would facilitate reaching out to the people and having a great ability to diagnose the issues, the problems, the particular problems of these states and the institutions. I would like to emphasize this particular point. For instance, the language barrier, when it comes to language, I would like to point out that, for instance, Arabic is the spoken language of 400 million people, stretching from the Near East to the Middle East, to North Africa, to Saharan Africa, to Sub-Saharan Africa. And I would like to propose kindly to you to take it into consideration as a working language among the languages that are used in Issa, for it is bound to help us in our countries to reach out to our target, be not only the retirees, but the general public at large. Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Madru, for that advice. We know that your position, especially regarding the Arabic language, is something that you're presenting here at the Bureau meetings, and that means that it is of high importance for you and for the region there. So be sure that we are not only taking it here and saying, okay, it's a remark, we put it into the minutes and that's it. No, we had a lot of internal discussions if and how it would be possible to extend the number of languages. It is on some way not only a question of money, to say that very open, because every additional language that you add to the one that we have there costs a lot of money, not only for interpretation, but also for translation, sometimes of papers. But as you're mentioning that, and we are realizing that it is a permanent, say not a problem, but a situation, we are looking for solutions. We don't have it at the time, to be honest, but there might be in the near future one thing that we perhaps can test with the Arabic language. We are not technically the way that the interpreters who are helping us here to understand each other, especially also if you're at that meeting, that their work could be done merely by artificial intelligence or some apps. We're far away from that, especially in technical areas.
Thanks.